Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Wayne Reid. How are you today, Wayne?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah.
Wayne, I'm delighted to have you here. We've had tremendous outfall from a story we recently did where you were selected as one of the #1 takeover targets in the gold industry. Can you tell us why you may have been selected for this coverage?
Yeah, I think it's the projects we have. One is a gold inventory of about 1.2 million ounces, so we get a lot of credit for that. And we're heading towards trying to get that in production if we can over the next 2 years. And the other is our new gold property on the Borden Trend, which Probe was just taken over with their deposit, and that's the one that we're working currently.
Okay, and for all of you out there, we have a lot of gold bugs, of course, that read InvestorIntel, but I want to back you up. Talk to me about the assets you have of these two properties. Can you give us a bit more depth on this?
Yeah, I'll start with the more mature one, which is the North Shore property. We've just got a 43-101 compliant resource. About 400,000 ounces indicated, and inferred is over 800,000 ounces of a gram. So we're pretty excited about that, plus we have a high-grade core there that we're looking to find a home for if we can find a mill or a small-scale mining operation. So that's the one that's really got some, you can put some numbers on. And the other is a great grassroots exploration play. We call it Ivanhoe. We picked it up from some prospectors. We've done boot and hammer type exploration on it, and we've got brand new gold showings that we're going to be drilling over the next 3 or 4 months. And again, it's right on strike from the Borden Lake deposit that Goldcorp just paid $530 million for.
Well, I understand that you have money in the bank, you have this significant asset, and of course you have good relations with First Nations. Is that correct?
Yes, we have exploration agreements with the First Nations we deal with. We try to make them like partners and have fun with them. I mean, that's what we sort of promised, that we would get serious here and include them in our exploration, and that's what we've done. So that really helps us going forward. Yeah.
And of course, your closeology. Can you talk about the properties that are around you and what their valuations are? I think that was pointed out in the Takeover Target series.
Well, exploration a lot of times is like real estate. So location, location, location. The first one I talked about, North Shore, is in the Hemlo Trend. You know, Hemlo's heading towards 35 million ounce production. If you look at our new one, the Ivanhoe, you go up to the northeast and you're in Timmins, which produced 60 million ounces, and we're right on that same Porcupine-Destor Fault. And if you go off to the southwest, you end up at this Borden Lake deposit. So, like I say, the location is really what gets you picking up these properties. Yeah.
I think perhaps as well, I just heard someone speak at PDAC saying a lot of investors invest in the jockey, and of course you have a number of prominent members in your management and board of directors. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about what we should anticipate the next couple of quarters?
Yeah, so this winter we're doing a lot of grid work. It's easy to work in the field in the wintertime because everything's frozen. So we're lining these targets up to do some more drilling coming up, I would think in May or June. And that's going to be good news flow going ahead. We've got these targets lined up with geophysics and geochemistry. So we've got gold targets to drill. And that's really going to be the news line over the next 3 to 4 months.
I think because of your experience as well in the resource sector, I'm going to ask you a question I don't normally ask. And can you tell me what you expect to happen in the gold prices, for gold prices this year in 2015? I
don't know. I like the Canadian dollar being low, so that actually gives us the bump, but I have no idea. I still don't think it's going to come down. It sounds like good news out there. I mean, right now it's almost $1,600 Canadian, so if we could get another bump of a couple $100s, I mean, I think we'd be all the way to the races.
Well, Wayne, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.